yes. Because that every day to day BAU support, we come across these things, and these basics are required.
I hope they should be helping you in your BAU support as well, no?
Yes, yes, yes.
Even you can feel like that your working nature is also got changed. Your way to see the things or the troubleshooting
Yes,
steps will change.
yes, correct.
Isn't it happened? It should happen,
Yes,
right?
a couple of times I got to know, like in scenarios like where EIGRP, and because many a times we have a hybrid environment, like OSPF is also there, EIGRP is also there. So at specific locations we have static also.
Okay.
So
What about
mm,
BGP?
yeah, that is there because we are giving one side support. So
Mhm.
BGP is there. Yeah.
Okay. So today we would be starting with BGP then.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Troubleshooting is mandatory. This helps in basic troubleshooting, like in show IP protocols, and some information what we get, and some other troubleshooting steps. It helps actually.
Right. It helps. So thing is, we would be starting with BGP today. Okay.
Mm.
And I would like to ask, what is your views on the BGP? Whatever you wanted to talk about BGP, maybe you can just give a brief, then we would be starting.
BGP is an exterior gateway protocol. What we have in our enterprise architecture, network architecture, where it helps to exchange the routes with another autonomous system, which is nothing but a service provider network, and it basically uh, works on TCP and on a TCP protocol, and as compared to other routing protocols, and most preferred with respect to the uh, exchanging the routes between other domains. Actually,
That's true. That's true.
yeah,
So we already aware about BGP, right?
yeah,
So we are aware that it is, popular,
yes,
we can say, protocol with
mhm,
respect to internet.
yeah,
So whenever we are using internet, it is really popular protocol. And
yes,
the reason why? The reason is we can perform a lot of traffic engineering.
mm,
When I am saying about traffic engineering, the traffic engineering is also possible in OSPF. It is
yes,
also possible in EIGRP.
yes.
Then what is the specialty with the BGP?
BGP is in BGP we can do path manipulation if we know the attributes perfectly,
That
and
that we can do in OSPF and EIGRP also. If you
yeah,
remember, even
yes, yes,
into in the
E1, E2.
OSPF, the
Yeah.
cost thing, the AD thing, we have done a lot of things. Why BGP? And the answer is, in those cases, we can only do the manipulation or the traffic engineering while traffic is going outgoing. But in
Mm,
BGP, either it is incoming traffic,
yes.
either it is outgoing traffic, we can modify both of the traffic as per the attributes what you are seeing.
This is the interview question.
Yeah, important question. right?
Yes. Yes.
Interview question, that is good, but I will say with respect to your understanding also it is important.
Yes.
So the first thing, okay, and there are a lot of attributes about which we will be going to talk, not now, later on in our classes.
Mm-hmm.
What next? This is one part I talked about. What is the second part? Second thing is,
TCP.
maybe have you heard about address family?
Yes.
What are those?
Basically, MP multi-protocol BGP support is there,
Right.
and
It it support MPBGP. Okay,
yes,
that's true. And what does that mean is it support not only IPv4
yes,
as it is in your EAGRP OSPF. It not support only IPv6 as these two are supporting, but it can support even VPN, V4, that is for your MPLS case. It can support even your EVPN, that is in your VXLAN case, okay? Or it can support VPN v6. It can support a lot of other address families,
mm,
and that can be used. That is the reason one can use BGP only. These 2 points are clear.
yeah,
So there are lot of capabilities into the BGP to support these address families. Okay, and if you just think about that, there are no more protocols are coming, and the reason why, because in BGP there are so much address families, and only one address family need to introduced, and even the BGP is capable enough to do or achieve any of the task.
mm,
No requirement of the new protocols. So BGP is very important. Okay. Now, we already aware the previous cases, very fundamental things, that if we have such kind of C to P thing, the default route is there, static can work, nothing required for the BGP. We are very simple things. We have such kind of topology, one need to be preferred over the other. We can manipulate with even our EIGRP. We can manipulate our OSPF. Nothing required for the BGP or something like that. But there are some kind of like these kind of scenarios where there are two ISP1, ISP2. Okay. Now we need to manipulate a lot of things over there. You can just think about the BGP, right? These are very basic things, very fundamental things. We have learned it from the uh, very past, or we can say a long ago. So that is one thing. I hope you went through that whatever I was discussing, right?
yes,
So what I was saying is, let us say this is your customer edge, okay,
mm,
your environment. There are some kind of distribution switch, core switches, and bit like that.
mm,
Your
yeah,
link is terminating over here. Now for such kind of scenario, because all the routes will be going on your one private provider edge, or we can say the one ISP, we don't require BGP at all. We can put the static route only.
mm,
Okay, static route, default route towards the ISP1. Why to use BGP? Why to use such kind of heavy protocol? Okay. Secondly, what I was talking about, that okay, if you have one customer edge and you maybe use two ISPs over here, ISP1, okay, ISP2. In this case also, you can put the static route over here with lower AD. Okay, static route over here with higher AD.
Higher AD. Yeah.
Right. Even that
Yes.
can work. Why to use, BGP? Even you can use some of the protocols also if you want. Okay, OSPF, EAGRP, but not required BGP. Very heavy protocol. If you have two, maybe routers, and both are going to the same service provider, maybe ISP, same ISP. Okay. In this case also, outgoing you can influence with OSPF, whatever the internal protocol you are having. Okay, maybe this side you are using E2, this side you are using E1, and I showed you that E1 will be preferred out, so this will be preferred out. Okay, and ISP when sending route over here, it will be get preferred. Okay, this side you can just run out again your maybe static route, maybe something bit like that, or maybe if there is some link over there, you can run some other thing, some other protocol for the outgoing traffic. Okay, but when you have such a scenarios where you have two routes, two different ISP. Now when you have two ISP, okay, in that case you can just say your ISP that okay, prefer, if it would be only one ISP, you can even say your ISP just send, it should be my primary, it should be my secondary. Even the ISP will do this for you. ISP will maybe putting the static route with lower AD over here and putting the static route with higher AD over here, so that when the traffic is coming, it would be the primary link, it would be the secondary link. Okay, this side you are tweaking out with the OSPF. That is really possible. Okay, but let us say now the scenario is something different. Now you have two routers. Okay, and you have ISP1. Okay, and you have ISP2. Now scenario is little bit changed. Okay, incoming, how the incoming should be preferred, that you can tweak with BGP. Okay, again, outgoing, not an issue. You can go with the OSPF, you can go with the EIGRP, anything. But even incoming influence can be done using the BGP attributes. How? That we will be gonna check later on. But that is little bit, overview what I am talking about. Why BGP? Then BGP, just I am covering the BGP introduction currently. In BGP, one thing more, this is known as path vector. Why? Or we can say distance vector, bit like your distance vector. Why? Like in your distance vector, there is something known as hop count. Here, it is checking with your AS count. Whatever the shortest AS is there.
Yes.
Okay. Then as you were saying, it is L3, L4 protocol working on TCP port 179.
Yes.
The current version of BGP is version 4. And it support your MP extensions, as we talked about, different address families. It support your classless. Okay. You can perform the manual summary anywhere. So manual summary can be performed anywhere. Then there are no periodic updates as there was in RIP version 1, only triggered update. Okay, so this is the one thing more, this is the slow protocol, but very much popular protocol when we come up for the internet purpose. And since it is slow, one of the reason is we should not use it into our enterprise. One of the reason. There are more reason also, but within our enterprise, maybe this is our LAN infrastructure. We should run OSPF, we should run EAGRP. Why to go with BGP? No, it is the slowest protocol. Need not to go with the BGP. This is a slow. Second reason is it consumes, I will show you later on, it consumes a lot of resource. Very heavy resource consumption is there. Third reason is complexity. Your team should be aware about the BGP end to end. Maybe you are aware. Some of the couple of the SMEs are aware. But what about all of the team? When it comes to the operations, L1, L2, L3, all the participants should be aware about it. So very much complex. Okay.
Yes.
Then BGP, when you are configuring, and this is your AS number 100, this is your AS number 200. When you are configuring the BGP between these two, such kind of BGP is known as eBGP. But if you have again the same topology, this is also the AS100, this is also the AS100, such kind of BGP configuration is known as iBGP. So eBGP means external. When there is a different AS system, you can see AS are the 200 and the 100. iBGP means internal. When your AS are the same, 100 and 100. Such kind of BGP have the AD value of 200, and iBGP is having the AD of
200.
Sorry, I just okay.
IBGP 200.
Yes, 200 and it is 20. Okay, eBGP 20, iBGP 200. So you can run the BGP within the enterprise also if required, although it is not a good practice, but you can. In that case, no redistribution is required. One thing very important, let us suppose you have a heavy network, bit like that. This is the common network of your LAN. This is connected with maybe one of the ISP. This is connected maybe one of the ISP. The same ISP, maybe not the different. One thing can also done that you can run the BGP on the edge routers. Such kind of BGP is known as indirect neighborship. So indirect neighborship can also be created when we come to the BGP. There are some conditions that end-to-end reachability should be there. So some kind of protocol, inline protocol we say, should be there. OSPF, EIGRP, static, LIP, whatever you want to run, ISIS, whatever you want to run, you can run that. But yes, for BGP, we can have indirect neighborship. Why it is required? You will be able to understand more and more about it when we will learn about the MPLS. But currently, maybe you are aware that such kind of thing can also happen. Any questions so far?
Uh, this two edge routers where the respective ISP links are connected, there can be a neighboring relationship that will be again the IBGP only, right?
Depends whatever you want to run. Since it is the same LAN, so I can say that yes, in our case, what I am describing, it is IBGP, but it can be EBGP as well. So what I mean to say, the indirect neighborship can be formed when you have IBGP, can be formed when you have EBGP. Okay. Is it
Okay.
clear?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is important. Okay. Now, the very fundamental commands to run the BGP. Let us say this is router 1, this is router 2. There is a link again. Reachability should be up. Everything should be fine. IP address is assigned. The command to form the neighborship, again, AS100 is there maybe. Okay. So what we need to do is, we need to go to the config terminal. We need to go to the router, BGP, whatever AS number you have. In our case, it is 100, so 100. Then we need not to put the network command. That is optional over here, optional. We need to put the neighbor command. Neighbor command is important over here. It is unicast. Maybe we can say the neighborship is the unicast. It is not your broadcast thing, but it is unicast thing. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So let me tell you the command. Let me just rub it. Command is, you need to write down neighbor, whatever your neighbor IP. Let us say in our case it is 172.16.12.x. So our IP will be 172.16.12.2, the neighbor IP. And then we need to say what is the remote AS. So in our case, because both of them are in the AS100, we need to specify it is AS100. Okay. These commands should be put on both of the routers with the exception of the neighbor IP. On R2, the neighbor IP would be 172.16.12.1. Once you done this, your neighborship will up. Okay. Then the network command here will specify what networks to advertise. And that is, as I told you earlier, optional command. If you need to specify the networks, you need to send the networks, advertise the network, you can specify that command. Otherwise, no. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, so let us talk about more. Just give me a minute. Let me have a sip of water.
So Rajesh, you are under isolation right now?
No, simple viral it was.
Okay. No. So then you visited doctor? Or?
Yes. Antibiotics and everything. That was there.
So in spite of having vaccinated, you are still compromising to the virus.
Vaccinated, I am already. I
Yeah.
have both of the
Both of the doses.
Yep. So one thing, this is R1, this is R2. I told you that for BGP, at least the very simple commands which you need to run is you need to go into the BGP process. In our case, let us say it is 100, and you need to put the neighbor command. Neighbor, whatever IP, remote AS, and then whatever the remote AS. Maybe in our case, it is 100. When we put such thing, R1, so neighbor command, what will do? It will start the BGP event. Okay. Like memory allocation, everything. So it's known as start event happened when we put our neighbor command. And it is both for either for the IBGP, either for the EBGP. First time when we write down these kind of commands, it means it start up with your all of the memory allocations, CPU allocations, everything what need to be done is it will be starting up with everything. Okay, then this is the time that your router will be coming into a state known as idle state. Currently, your router 1 is only configured, your router 2 is not configured, your neighbor is not configured, only router 1 is configured. So BGP event started, it came up with the idle state, and currently in this state, okay, whenever we are putting it, okay, maybe before putting the neighbor, it will be coming into the idle state. And since neighbor command is not there, it is the idle state, and it will refuse all connections in idle state, since we didn't specify any neighbor yet in the router BGP 100. When we just configure it, it will come into the idle state. But when we put the neighbor command, the BGP start event will start. Okay, it will be initiated, and when you put it, BGP will put all of the resource initializing. Also, it will allocate a timer that is known as connect retry timer. What does this connect retry timer is? It is of 120 seconds, and it will just send on the connection with its neighbor that is specified in the neighbor command. And this is the time when it is coming to the connect state. It is trying to connect. So the second state is connect state. Any question? And
No.
and this thing is on your TCP connection. This is your TCP based connection, port number 179.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So we talked about when we write down router BGP AS number, it will go into the idle. Then we talked about when we put the neighbor command, it will go and try to connect. In our case, R1 is configured, R2 is not configured yet. So the connection will not successful, but obvious. And this connection is your three-way connection, TCP three-way. What is TCP three-way handshake?
First is the initial send, then
it will send a SYN.
Yes, same.
The SYN will act.
Yes.
And then this acknowledgement will be also act.
Yeah.
So first, second, third, there are three processes, and it is known as TCP three-way handshake. Over the port number 179.
Yeah.
So in our case, since R1 is configured, R2 is not configured, it will send a connection request in the connect and it will be gonna fail because the another router is not configured yet. Then R1 will reset the timer and also continue to listen that okay, if my neighbor will also send me something, then also I am listening it. Okay, and this state is known as active state. Is it okay?
Yes, yes, yes.
So I told you first state idle when there is no neighbor command. Then I say connect state when it will start the connection. Then I said you if it fails, it will be in the active state where it will be sent the connection request also and continue to listen as well. And if it is if your like retry timer will be expire, it will go from the active to the connect again and then from connect to the active again. Keep on listening, keep on sending, keep on listening, keep on sending. Any
So
question?
once, yeah, when we have one neighbor command configured on one router and there is no neighbor command on another one, on the other router, there is one state where after some time the R1 router will go into never idle. R1 router will have that neighbor state as never idle. That means it is never established.
Never idle.
Yes.
I don't think so. Such state I have seen ever, but active state maybe we can see.
Active state, yeah, I do notice. Idle and idle in bracket admin, that means it is somewhere not configured yet, or it has been idle, never idle something. Like it is never come up. Something.
Never established. Maybe you can. That is not a state. Maybe a status. Let us see. This is our R1. This is our R2.
Yeah, yeah.
In between R1 and R2, I am considering as number 12. Let us see. Show IP protocols. There is no protocol yet. Show IP protocol. BGP 12 is configured over here. Do show run section router BGP. Const no router BGP. Show IP protocol. There is nothing. Show IP BGP summary. BGP is not active. Config terminal router BGP 12. Okay, maybe let me just say no router BGP. Do debug IP. BGP. Okay, and do debug IP BGP events. Now router BGP 12. Okay, so when I started router BGP 12, okay, some process started up and we can see that there are something, it is keep on checking in table version, lot of the things. Maybe I'm not interested. Show IP BGP summary. There is nothing. Show IP protocol. I can see BGP 12 is there. Okay, but I cannot see anything else. And yep, there is nothing. Now I need to go to the configure terminal, router BGP 12, and I need to put the neighbor command 172.16 and 12.2, and the remote is 12. Let us say, and we can see, yes, something now more, something is, started up. Some initializing is gonna happen. And if I will check show IP BGP summary now, you can see the state is idle. And from idle, it is trying the connect also and going to the active, and active is getting failed. Can you see idle to active? So you can see idle to active, and maybe it is failing out, and it is keep on checking those things. And here you can see it is never. Okay, again you can see active to idle, and it is resetting. Everything is gonna happen over there. If I will check show IP BGP neighbor 172.16.12.2, and one more. Sorry. BGP state is idle. So it is showing only idle only, nothing else.
Sure.
Nothing else. Okay.
Idle, active, idle, active.
Yep.
The column besides to that I was referring, never idle.
So
one side it is
this never means that either it was up ever.
Yeah.
But the state, if you will talk about, it is idle. So maybe you got confused with that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that is up and down maybe. Okay. So never it is saying that it was never up. Okay. It is, but the state is idle only. Idle or maybe active, bit like that. Okay.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Okay. So that was the point maybe you were mentioning never, right?
Yeah, correct. Yes.
Okay. It's all right. So those were the things we were discussing about. Now, maybe let us talk more about the states. Again, I'm coming to the states. So we talked about R1 is there, R2 is there. When we start BGP, it will go to the idle. Then when we start neighbor command, it will go to the connect, and retry timer, it will be just keep on checking, and it will be going into the active, just listening it, reset the retry, and it can be seen in between your idle and active. We saw that, okay, where it will be connecting it very efficiently in a very small time. It is going to the active, doing everything bit like that. But let us say if on R2 we do all of the configuration, if the configuration happened on R2, the TCP connection will be done, and this time your BGP will start. So far it was only TCP, right? But now your BGP will start, and it will say that, okay, now the BGP can be sent something that is known as open sent. Okay, BGP can send the open send message over here. So the next state will be gonna happen is open send. Okay. And there is one more state. I don't know if you have heard about it or no. Named as passive. Have you heard about
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
What is the passive state?
Open send and open confirm. Hmm.
No,
After this,
I'm just keeping it on open send, but passive
okay.
is nothing to take after open send or something. Passive is something. Let me tell you. Passive is something that on R1. Okay, this is R1, and maybe let me just draw some another diagram. This is my ISP. ISP have maybe different neighbors, or not bit like that. Maybe this is my ISP. After ISP, there is a switch or something where pop. Okay, where different of my like CEs or the customers are available. And I am saying why to reset the timers, why to keep on utilizing such a heavy resource. Instead, I am saying that I am in the passive state. I can configure it manually. Okay. And what does passive state means? Passive state means that, okay, I am not actively checking either my neighbor is up or no. Whereas this time I am listening to you. If you are retrying, okay, then I will establish the TCP connection. Otherwise, actively I will not send any of the TCP request. That is the state named as passive state. Is it okay?
No, okay.
Now, similarly, if I will show you over here on R1, here is something transport connection mode. Passive. I put it into the passive state, and by doing so I would not be actively, ever I will not be actively participating. So if you will see now, debug IP BGP, debug IP BGP, debug IP BGP events. Earlier, if you watched carefully, we were going into the active state. We were going into the lot of things. Our router CPU was, involved with. Can you see? We were going into the idle to active and so much of the things. But currently, there is nothing.
But only for this neighbor, 12.2.
Yep. It is the neighbor specific.
Neighbor specific. If we have another neighbor connected to R1,
We can put for the different neighbors.
yeah. Then there will be BGP events. Yes.
So it is mainly useful for hub and spoke, maybe I can say, where hub can have a lot of the spokes, and we don't want to, we want to reduce the CPU usage on the hub. Okay, we can create such kind of things. So this is some different stuff which is gonna happen. We will be gonna talk about that later on, but currently you can see it is not going into the active state. Right? And resources can be saved a lot when we are putting such kind of commands. So that is your one of the state. Okay, passive state, we can keep our BGP very helpful when we are doing hub and spoke topologies. Hey Narcis, good morning.
In Narcissus.
Able to hear us? You are on mute if you are speaking something.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Yes, I'm okay.
So you joined late today. Everything fine?
Yes.
Okay. So today we are talking about BGP. Okay. And in BGP, we are talking about the BGP states. So we talked about a couple of the states. Okay. And currently, just I told that if there are two routers, router 1, router 2, okay, and we are just running out the command router BGP ASN number. By doing so, our router BGP will be going into the idle state. Then after that, I can go with the neighbor command. When I am putting the neighbor command, it will try to connect, and somewhat a state will be achieved as the active state, connect state or active state. We used to say, if this thing is passed on, the next state will be open state, where an open message will be sent. Okay. If not passed, it will be keep on popping up in between active and idle, or connect or active bit, like that. It will be stuck into those two states. Then I was talking about one of the more state can be happened, the passive state. Passive state is useful when we have hub and spoke of the hub and spoke kind of relationship, okay, where one router is configuring with each and every router. Why to send so many of the requests? Why to use such of the heavy CPU and the memory allocation? I can put neighbor basic that, okay, this neighbor is coming into the maybe, as an passive state. So let me show you the command. So this is the command. Let me highlight it. If you can see, this is the command, that where I am saying that, okay, I am putting the neighbor as the passive. So instead of sending actively each and every request, I am putting it as a passive state, and that can be also possible when I am putting my neighbor as the passive state. So these are my some of the states which I talked about. If you have any doubt, Shashank, Narcis, you can ask me. Otherwise, we will be proceeding it up.
Yeah, I was just noting the command actually because this command is not used on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So,
You can note down. I just shown you again. One thing very important, okay, in the passive state, what I told you, that passive state when you are putting, okay, let us say on R1, this is under passive state. So when it is under the passive state, it will not look up for the neighbor, that if neighbor is up or something like that. But if neighbor is sending the request, it will accept it. So one thing very important, you cannot keep both of the routers in the passive state. By that way, your neighborship will never come up. Important question.
yeah,
Okay.
and this
So
is basically in hub and spoke topology where we can use it.
right. Maybe you can use in that topology. Reason being, because on one of the router, you have couple of the, BGP is there. Now, if this is coming up, coming down, why to use your resource by sending out the request? Either you are up or no, either you are up or no. Okay. Besides of that, let this guy initiate it. We are in the passive state. We will be just keep on listening.
Yeah.
So that is the reason.
Only for that number, this router is passive. Yeah.
Yes. So for your information, Narcis, I put the BGP over here on the R1. Let me show you the diagram. So I have very, very simple diagram, very simple topology. I'm just repeating. If two peers R1 and R2 are there. Both of them are running BGP. Both of them are having the same AS. Such kind of topology is known as IBGP. But if one is under AS12, one is under AS300, such kind of topology is there. These things are known as EBGP. EBGP, different AS, okay. IBGP, same AS on the both peers. To configure it, I need to go on to the router BGP. Under router BGP, I need to tell the neighbor command this side because it is a unicast thing, not broadcast. So BGP don't use the broadcast. It will use unicast. I'm sorry. So neighbor command is important over here. Network command, as we used into our different protocols, it started up, initiated the interface which are coming into that particular, network to send the broadcast in different, protocols. But this time it is not used. It is not used for that purpose. But the network command is only used for the advertising that network. And you can advertise those networks which are connected to you. Secondly, which are into your RIP. Either it is connected to you or no. Doesn't matter. We will be going to talk about these things later on. Very important. Maybe you guys not able to understand it now. But let me go up further and show you more things. Okay. I am going on R2 and showing you the BGP configuration. So COM-T router BGP 12 neighbor 172.16.12.1 and remote AS would be 12. When I am putting this, you can see, okay. Okay, so this is up, okay, and we can see this is still under the passive form, but it is able to listen about the traffic, okay. And when it is having the traffic, it is going from passive to the open state, and then again it is building up different things. We will be going to talk about that later on, okay, different states. But you can see if I will check the show IP BGP summary, I can see the neighbor 2 is up now and state is not visible, but the prefix which is received is 0. I am not having any of the network which is listened from my neighbor. And to check out the state, what you can do is you can just write down show IP BGP and neighbor and whatever your neighbor is. Here, if you see, you can check a lot of things like what is your BGP neighbor? It is 17.2. What is the remote AS? It is 12. Since your AS is also 12, remote AS is also 12. So such kind of things are known as IBGP. And you can see this is showing you it is an internal link. BGP version, as I told you, is 4. Router ID plays a very important role in case of BGP also. It is showing you the router ID. State, the very last state is known as established. We will be going to talk about that later on. For how much time it is up, that it is showing you. These are some of the capabilities. These are some other things. We will be going to talk about them later on. But let me talk about the TCP. So if I wanted to check the TCP connection, I can see do TCP, show TCP brief. And you can see that it is initiating with 179 request. That is your TCP connection. Getting this point, guys?
Yeah.
If yes,
Yeah.
one thing important, that for your internal links, or I will say for your IBGP, the TTL value will be gonna 255. But for your EBGP, by default, the TTL value will be 1. Very important things. These are very minute things, very important things. Maybe in the interview can also be asked. As per your knowledge also, you should be aware about these things. Remaining EBGP and IBGP will be having mostly the same things. So your state is established now, and this is comes after your both of the links are configured. Okay, so let us do one more thing, then I will be gonna talk about it more. State is still not what to say completed, but I wanted to ask, this is R1, this is R2. We are running BGP on both of them. If I need to apply the ACL to stop BGP, how can I implement that? I want implementation steps. Anyway, is my question clear?
Yeah. Inbound direction at R2.
Sorry.
Apply the ACL with the inbound direction.
Okay. Where?
With the help of first we need to create a ACL, and then
what should be the ACL?
ACL is the 172.16.
So you are saying I need to use the ACL, okay, where I can deny 172.16 12.2.
From where the neighborship is being established.
It is R1, it is R2. If I will disable it, that is not a good way. I am disabling 12.2, whereas I just need to break the BGP neighborship.
Extended ACL.
Okay, extended ACL, what I will use?
Deny BGP.
Deny
BGP. TCP.
For 179 maybe?
179, yeah.
That makes more sense, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But how? Maybe that is again a question, because BGP work on the 179 TCP, so we can deny the TCP 179 to break the neighborship. Let us say this is R1, this is R2. What should I write down? Maybe I am writing down an ACL 100. I am denying TCP any equivalent to 179. If I am applying over here in the inbound, will it break the neighborship? Yes or no? And I'm permitting anything else. Permitting IP.
We have to apply this on a route map.
Not required
And then,
on route map. Not required on route map. We can directly apply the ACL. That is not an issue.
On the interface, yeah, correct. It is. Yeah.
We can apply on the interface. So
Yes.
will it stop?
Unless you define in BGP configuration, it won't stop.
So let me check. This is R1. It is gig 1 by 0. I am going on R1. I am going to conft. I am specifying maybe access list 100 and deny TCP any equivalent to 179. Access list 100 permitting anything else. Permit IP any. I am going to the interface int GI10. GI10 IP access group 100 in and clear IP BGP star soft. What is that command? I will be showing you later on. Show IP BGP summary. It is still up. Not down. Can you see? Whereas now let me show you the magic. Section router, not router, access list. Whereas if I apply this on, can you see it? It is TCP equivalent to 179 is BGP only. Okay. So if I'm going to the R2 and I am pasting these commands again and int GI1/0 IP access group 100 in, before putting that, let me remove from here, call T int GI1/0 and I am just removing from here, and when I am putting here, you guys would be able to see clear IP BGP star soft. You guys will be able to see the neighborship will go down. Okay, maybe we need to hard reset it because TCP connection already happened. So we need to hard reset it. Let me check again. Okay, so it is not working over there now. I will tell you why, because it is hard resetted. But I need to apply on the both side because somewhat int G1/0. So it is not working over there. Okay, but let me put control. I will let you know why it is not working. Don't worry, but let me hard reset again just to show you. So it is down now and it will never come up. If I will show you, show IP BGP summary again. What is happening? Okay, what about this side? Show IP BGP summary. Okay, this time, this side, it is not coming up. Okay, so what is the case? What is the scenario? Why one side it is coming up? Why second side it is not coming up? And which side it should come up? Which side it should not come up? How we can diagnose that? What is the issue? That we need to understand. Please understand it very minutely and you guys will be able to give me this answer then. Okay, let me tell you by asking a question first, because that question will clear your all of the doubts. Now let me ask a question. You are accessing www.netminion.net. Your request is going from the cloud somewhere in the NetMinion server, right? But I'm not interested in that. I just wanted to know what would be the packet. In the packet, what would be the source IP? What would be the destination IP? What would be the source port? What should be the destination port? Question is clear? Yes or no? Let us say this has the IP 1.1.1.1. Just for the simplicity sake, it is 1.1.2. Now you answer me.
Source IP will be 1.1.1.1. Destination is 1.2.
Mm-hmm.
80.
This should be 80. Why it should be 80? Please try to understand very minutely, very important concepts. These are. Source port will be higher order port, right? So except your well-known port, whatever your well-known ports are, accept that list well-known ports. Accept that list, it can pick any of the source port. Maybe if you are not aware, guys, this is damn important. You should be aware about it. But if no, please check well-known TCP ports. And if you just go to the Wikipedia or maybe any of the list, you can just see that these are your well-known ports which are assigned for your DNS, DSCP, ARP, different things till 1024. Post that, it can pick any of the ports, okay, for your communication, for your source-based communication. Is it clear? So you can see there are a lot of ports. So any port it can pick up. So your source port will not be gonna 80. It can be any random port. Is this thing clear to you? Yes or no? Both of you? Narcis?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Narcis, clear to you as well?
It's clear.
Okay. In the same way, when we are talking about BGP, lot of people are aware that it work on 179, but they are not aware there is one thing known as BGP client. There is one thing known as BGP speaker or server, maybe we can say. Client can have any random port. Only the server is the one which will be listening on 179. And anybody can be client. Anybody can be client. If R1 is picked up as the client, then R2 will be listening on 179. And that is the reason R1 was up, because when we were blocking 179 over here, it does not matter, because when the communication happened, let us say it is going with 10, maybe 1922 port, and it is going to 179. When it is going over there, it is saying that, okay, it is coming up with 179, it is blocked, it is going to the idle. But when the request is going back, it is coming for 1922. That is good, not an issue. So we are not blocking 179 in the out. We are blocking 179 toward the in. And that is the reason R1 is up, but R2 was in the idle state. Whereas if R1 would be the server, then your R1 could be down, but R2 will be in the up state. Are you understanding these concepts? So
Yeah,
it is not bit like your maybe RIP that both are using 520 ports or both are using the same ports. No, this is something that one side it would be using one kind of port, but second side it is the client, and client can be used any of the port.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I hope you understand this point. Multiple of the network engineers are not aware about these things. So now you tell me, what is the correct way to block BGP using the access list? And the correct way would be deny TCP, okay, any EQ 179, that is destination. Destination can be 179. Also, I am denying TCP any EQ 179 any. This is for your source. Rest permit IP any. Is it clear now?
Source to destinations, destination to source.
We are
179.
blocking both.
Yeah, correct.
Maybe it can be a server, maybe it can be a client. I don't know. Either it will be handling a client role or the server role, but whatever role it is having, I need to block the TCP 179 for both the cases.
Yeah, correct. Now I got it.
Narcis, what about you? Is this ACL clear to you?
Yes.
So that is how your TCP connection can be breaked for your BGP. Otherwise, you will feel like that, okay, sometime it works, sometime it's not working. And the reason why, it depends upon the role. What is the role you are having? Depending upon that, it will be, working on. Okay, I hope there is no question in this. Okay, if there is some question, you can ask. Otherwise, let me go ahead and do some more tasks. No question?
It's fine.